We are the weirdos, mister.
Hey, I'm Audra, and welcome to Neurodivergent Movie Reviews. I am autistic and I have ADHD, and these are the movies that I have watched recently. And by recently, I mean most of these I watched in like 2 days. So here we go. First of all, I want to talk about Wife-Like. Wife-Like is a movie I think it stars Jonathan Rhys-Meyers and some other woman whom I don't know. Don't be mad because I don't know that woman's name. I'll put it here somewhere. But it stars them. And first of all, I'm just going to say this about this movie. I was already disturbed. Also, if you hear my PlayStation screaming in the background, you can also find me on Twitch. Here. So here's the thing about this movie, okay? I already hate these dystopian futures movies where women are, oh God, this is so uncomfortable. Let me just back up. 22 minutes into this movie, I was immediately like, oh, this is the protagonist, antagonist, whatever. This is the bad guy. That's what's happened. It was very easy because basically it happened in this scene. Jonathan Rhys-Meyers, I think that is his name. Is that not? He doesn't look like he used to look. I think he's older, obviously. But again, object permanence. I haven't seen him in a long time, and everything I've seen him in is when he was like really young. So sometimes watching movies for me is just like painful. Because like, what happened to these people? I'm older too, but I'm also a child. Childlike, but I'm an adult. For more on this, there's a video on my other channel, and I will try to link it here if I remember. We'll see. But Wife-Like is a movie about Jonathan Rhys-Meyers, who is a robot wife repo man. You heard me right. I did say robot wife repo man. Okay. So what this does is it allows men to get a perfect likeness of their wife programmed to be their wives, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be their wife. They're just programmed to be wives. This is so uncomfortable, and that was why I immediately kind of started to roll over. Like, here's what it is. They give him his wife, and that sex scene is too much for me. I was already disgusted because I've never felt, the last time I was this uncomfortable, I was watching Magic Mike But Make It Black, and I will have to talk about that some other time. So uncomfortable. And I was just like, no. And then I figured out who the killer was by this scene, not killer, but like the bad guy by this scene, because Jonathan Rhys-Meyers is like talking about how he's the head honcho of Wife Repo. And he's the best of Wife Repo. He has the most. And then his black friend is second. Of course he is. So, Wife Repo situation. Disgusting. I couldn't watch it really. Also because I immediately figured out, like, I mean, again, 22 minutes in like a 2-hour movie, and I'm just like, all right, it's her. It's over. I'm over it. And the thing is, I went, and of course, you know, like I always do, because ADHD, I immediately was like, let me just see if this is going in the direction that it's going. It did. And so I was like, cool, I'm gonna take my nap. Then I woke up from my nap and I decided to watch John and the Hole. This has Michael C. Hall in it and a bevy of other people I don't know. Let me just tell you, this movie is so boring. And I literally, like, I was about to just like check out, and then I saw Michael C. Hall and I was like, oh, cool. I'll watch it for him. No, so boring. Like, I started napping in the middle of it, and then I woke up. The premise of the movie is that John is like, I don't know, 13, and he drugs his family, his mother, his father, and his sister, and puts them in a hole, like a bunker, like a hole in the ground, fam. And then he proceeds to like drop food and water down to them from time to time. But he just like lives his life. Now, I don't like this movie because when I started to, first of all, it's boring. Like I said, it's immediately boring. Nothing happens in it. Honestly, nothing happens. Like, basically he puts his family in a hole for a week, and then he just pulls them out, and they just go back to living their lives. Like, nothing happens, no repercussions, absolutely nothing. The thing that I really hate about this movie is I went to read, you know, reviews on it and figure out what was going on. And like, this is one of those movies with faux deep bullshit. Do you know what I mean? Where people start writing these like think pieces about like, this is about how this generation is like, this next generation is like thoughtless and they only think of themselves and like blah, blah. And I watched this movie and I was like, I feel like it's very obvious what this, it's about white homogeny and how like, to me, this is what I saw. This is like, I looked at it and I was like, I don't think you need to go any deeper than that. It's the homogenous, like the homogeny of whiteness and how they will pretty much do anything to continue to fit in and stay a part of the white imperative. Like, that's it. I mean, this movie would not exist with any other racial group having done this. If you had a black family in this movie, if you had an Afghani family, like, these people would not just be like, it's cool. Like, they get him out of, they get out of the hole and then they just go back to living their lives. And if that doesn't say like the weirdness of the homogenization of white people in suburbia, I don't know what does. But it's not a good movie. It was boring. It was like time I kind of wish I could have back. But then after that, I was like, ooh, what's this? Because I had saved it as something I wanted to watch. So I watched The Sound of Violence. Don't know who it stars. It's these people. Oop. It stars these people. Again, this is, if you know, you know. So this movie was so good and I really, really enjoyed it because I'm a horror fan. I also like thrillers, obviously, which is really underneath the horror umbrella, and we'll talk about that some other day. Please hold. I gotta finish installing my SC Live because, listen, I'm rebranding. It's a whole thing. Be right back. Hopefully I fixed it, so I'm really excited about that. Anyways, I'm a horror fan. Loved this. So what this movie is about, it is about a girl who has, it is a young biracial girl who, her father apparently has been at war. Which one? We don't know. Probably in the sand. And he is not doing well. You know, black mom is trying really hard to like get the kids to behave, but black mom really should not. First of all, she put her kids in an impossible situation. So I'm just gonna say that, like, this is not, anyways, we're gonna move past it. But her father is not having a good time. And so she is upstairs. She's listening to music. Yes, she's listening to music. Deaf people can listen to music. I didn't tell you she was deaf. That's the thing. She's deaf. So she is deaf. And she's listening to music with her hands. And then she feels like a different thump from the music. So she follows the thump only to find her father downstairs just hacking away at her mother with like a butcher knife. It's rough. It's rough, fam. It kind of gives you like the booty hole quiver where you're like, ooh, I don't want to see this no more. But it just keeps going. Here's the thing though. She goes to hide, but then she braves everything, grabs a meat cleaver, whacks her daddy over the head with it. And then she can hear. And not only can she hear, but she sees colors, beautiful colors, when bam, blood spray, colors, she can hear, right? Right. And then, you know, the police and whatnot are coming and they're like, it's gonna be okay, sweetheart, like da 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 da. And she laughs maniacally, which, I mean, she has been through a traumatic situation. The point is, she now has synesthesia, if I'm saying that correctly. We're gonna hope that I am. We're gonna hope that I am. Anyway, as an adult, she is basically spending her life trying to replicate that sensation and get to the like perfection. And now it's like pushed ahead because she begins to discover that she is losing her hearing again. And before she loses her hearing, she really must hit the penultimate of her synesthesia. Y'all, this is a gory watch though, I'm not gonna lie. It's very gory. But the good news is you can hide from the gore if you want to, because once you kind of realize that she's turning people into macabre instruments of music, because the sound of violence is, you see, movie title makes sense. Anyways, once you get there, oh my God, I haven't been wearing earrings this whole time. Hold on. Thank you. All right, earring situation rectified. Glorious, you're welcome. Anyway, so the whole thing culminates in her turning her friend into a speaker. Did I tell you that there's gonna be spoilers in this? Obviously there should be spoilers, but spoilers, you're welcome. So that one's really good. And I still watch it. If you have ADHD, you probably already forgot anything that I just said, so it's fine. Next up, y'all, I was on Netflix and they had a movie called No, Don't Touch Me. That's not the name of the movie. I'm telling him not to. Don't touch me because your paws, you have big claws and webby feet. So anyways, The movie I watched was called Your Place or Mine, I believe. I will make sure that that's the correct title. I just like wrote these down to try to like talk about them, and I couldn't remember the name of it. It doesn't matter because it's awful. It stars Ashton Kutcher and Reese Witherspoon. Now, Reese Witherspoon looks amazing. She's beautiful and she's fun. She just does her Reese Witherspoon-y thing where she's like, oh, I'm cute. I'm like, no. But she's kind of like this neurotic mom of a child. I think it's a boy, and he has like, he's a boy, and he has like a lot of allergies and issues, and we're not exactly sure if he truly has all of that or if she's just kind of like a super helicopter mom. Anyway, and it also has Ashton Kutcher, who did not age into Zaddy. He did not. At all. Anyway, Ashton Kutcher is in this, and I feel like what they're trying to do and what Netflix has been trying to do is like bring back the early aughts sensation, right, of rom-coms. Bo, I'm gonna ask you to leave if you cannot behave. I feel like that's what they're trying to do, is bring that back, and I'm not into it. You can't do that, see? Stay in your spot. And I just feel like I'm not into it. Maybe it's this movie in particular, right? Because it's very formulaic to the point that it's boring. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's a neurotic mom, but before that, like, they're best friends. Ashton and Reese, best friends. They've been best friends since they were like young. They dated when they were young. She had on all the layers. We got the like sensation of the early aughts layers. Y'all, that shit was so funny though. That part was funny. I was dying of laughter for that because it just, the rest of it's unfunny and just like not a good time at all. And creepy in some aspects. I don't know. But like, I just didn't like it. Like, everything that happened was extremely formulaic. Like, they have to switch houses. He has to take care of her kid. Of course, he's gonna do something wild. She's gonna get pissed off about it. They're gonna find out that they've always been in love with each other. The end. Boring. And it's not even like madcap. Madcap? Is it madcap? Madcap. It's not even madcap. It's not funny. It's not fun. I'm not having a good time. I'm just bored. And the thing is, like, if I want to watch a rom-com, like late 90s, early aughts, and like have that like good sensation. Anyways, before Bo nearly expired, being just stressing me out, before that happened, and I shouted at him because I was scared, as I always do whenever he scares the shit out of me. Anyways, I'm just saying, if I wanted to recapture that feeling, I could literally go back and watch Notting Hill. I could watch 2 Weeks Notice. Like, you know what I mean? Let me know if you're interested in some of my favorite rom-coms, because like I do like them, despite the fact that I have like, I'm trying now to look back at them with the fondness of like not being like, this isn't reality and this like blah, 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 and this is dangerous. Like, I just want to have fun, you know? I get it. The kissing booth with the boy and all of his like machismo and like violence, and like I get it, but also I still had fun. Suck it. So anyways, not good. Not good.
Maybe get waxed. Waxed? Oh, waxed. Waxed. Oh, well, that's just not gonna happen.
I forgot. Listen, I don't know what went on with the sound for a second, because everything, it's been a wild ride over here. It's been a wild ride in the Reins household. Okay, so speaking of terrible movies, y'all, I watched Top Gun 2, Maverick's Revenge, or whatever it's called. It's so bad. It's so bad. So bad. Tom Cruise has that buff old man body. You know what I'm talking about? The buff old man body, which kind of makes you slightly uncomfortable, and you can't figure out why. And I think it's because like old men aren't supposed to be buff like that. Like, not that you're not supposed to be like fit or have fitness, but like there's something really uncomfortable about the buff old man body. And one day I'm gonna dive into it, like, and be like, this is why it bothers me. But it was so annoying. Also, his chemistry with Jennifer, lack thereof chemistry with Jennifer Connelly, like they may as well have been brother and sister. Like, just not hot, the whole thing. From start to finish, I was like, what even is this movie? And it's like, Maverick's gonna break the sound barrier? For what? For what? I can't even breathe. I didn't even know what's going on. So I go to look at the reviews of this movie. Y'all, it's nostalgia. Like, this movie has like a 9 out of 10. For what reason? No one knows. It's so bad. Like, if you have whatever streaming service it's on, I think it might be on Paramount Plus, it is so bad from start to freaking finish. Doesn't make sense. There's that one guy that I guess people think is hot, but he's not. He plays like Goose's kid. He's young Goose. But they call him Rooster. Oh, I can't. Okay, and his call sign is Rooster. And this is the other thing, like the call sign thing was like cute back in the 90s. You know what I mean? I get that they still do this. I'm not saying that they don't. I'm just saying that in the 90s, it was like, we didn't know about call signs. And so it was like, oh, that's really cool. And like this movie.
Fellas, this here's Bagman.
Hangman.
Whatever.
What the hell kind of mission is it?
What even are their real names? Like, I don't even know. There's people and they're just like, you know, and anytime there's a female, it's always gonna be like Sapphire or Phoenix. You know what I mean? Like, that's always gonna be her call sign. Her call sign is never gonna be like butt plug. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just not. I mean, it could be, but she just never has like a guy one. And I just don't know who thought Rooster would be cool. Like I don't know. Anyways, it's bad. I don't even. They even still tried to have like a beach volleyball. It's terrible. Terrible. I don't even know what it was about, to tell you. Like, I don't know what it was about. I tried to watch it. It was terrible. I couldn't. I also, Vampires versus the Bronx. Listen, this is on Netflix. If you have not watched this, I really need you to, because it's so friggin' good. So good. I feel like it came out like 2 years ago, maybe 3. I don't know what time means, but so good.
All right. Yo, that was mad vague, dog.
It's a story about the Bronx being gentrified by white vampires. And so, phenomenal. But it's a story about gentrification utilizing white vampires. Do you get the reference? Okay, for those who don't, white people in general tend to move into predominantly black and brown neighborhoods and raise the prices, and that makes it so that the black and brown people who live there, and other white folk who do live there as well, unable to afford the rents as they increase. They can't continue to live there, and then they have to leave. And so that makes them vampires for sucking out all of the resources.
We are going to wipe you out like the vermin you are.
And putting stuff in there, but the people who live there can't be there. Thus, you have the white vampire. So anyways, I know some people get it, but like every neurodivergent person isn't the same. Do you know what I mean? Some people like an explanation. So anyways, such a rocking good time. I love this movie. I watched it multiple times, and every time I watch it, I'm really happy. I'm not going to give too much away on that one because I really want you to watch that one, and I think that you would enjoy it. It's another one of those fantastic vampire movies starring black folks and brown people, and I live for that. I just want more and more movies, like horror films and all that. Listen, we can't all die at once. We can't all die first. I'm gonna watch that because that's coming out soon, and I'm living for the amount of like black people in horror, like fully black cast. I'm here for that. All right, so make sure you go watch that if you have the Netflix before they try to like, remember they tried it with that password thing. It didn't work out, did it? Netflix 0, watchers 70,000. All right, so I also watched Smile.
I'm just really scared that something bad is going to happen.
Smile is a movie that starts like okay, gets super boring in the middle where I'm tired. Then it starts to pick up, and then it goes back down into the shitter. I didn't like it. It's supposed to be scary, but it's not scary. And I think what bothers me about it is there's that one guy who's in it who's always really handsome. His name's Kyle something. Hot guy. Because not normal hot. Like, he's weird hot. And that's why I think that he's hot. Obviously, that's why I, of course, would find him attractive. Because he's not, like, traditionally attractive. His features aren't all put together properly, for me, personally. This sounds like I'm tearing him down, but these are the things that I like about him. His features aren't all put together properly. They don't all match up on his face, and I just love, God, it's so sexy. Like, it's just sexy. He has, like, kind of sad eyes, but, like, high cheekbone. It's a whole thing. Anyways, he's in it. And I'm about to do another spoiler again, but what I hate is that he has walked through this whole thing with old girl whose name I don't know. It could be Judy. He's walked through this whole thing through, and at the end, when it's getting to the point where she is also going to kill her, unalive her, delete herself violently in front of him, he doesn't turn away. Like, bro, you through this whole movie, you went through this with us and you just still watched it. So now you're gonna have to smile? Bitch, get out. Boring, didn't like it. I don't like it when you didn't stick the beginning, you didn't stick the ending. Like, cause it was, it felt like it just dragged. I felt like it was really long. And when it got good was like the mystery part of it. But then they just fumbled the bag. And I was just like, y'all had something good on your hands. I know that what they're trying to do is set up a sequel, but I need movies to quit trying to set up a freaking sequel at every freaking opportunity and just make one good movie. All right. Speaking of which, well, not one good movie. I'm hoping it is one good movie. I watched You People. I know people have a whole thing against Kenya Barris. What is his name? I don't know, and I don't care. Apparently he's a self-hating black man. And I don't know, because I don't watch their stuff like that, and I'm also not super director focused, all because of Quentin Tarantino in the 90s, but we'll talk about that another day. But, or will we? But I enjoyed this. I thought it was fun. I think what I liked about You People is that, unlike with so many other movies that have attempted to do the whole interracial situation, I do like that with this one, you're seeing that both sides suck, like family-wise, that the relationship between the two people is solid and beautiful, and it's only hampered by the fact that their families are stupid people stuck in, like, well, they're not stupid, but I'm just gonna say it how I want to. Their families are stuck in old ways and antiquated ideas, and therefore making the relationship on the two people hard, which is a reality for a lot of people when it comes to interracial dating. It's why I just don't even bother with it anymore. I don't even bother with dating because you see me. I've been getting like 3 hours of sleep every night for like, I don't know, a week now because autism, ADHD. Prime example is right now it is 12:30 a.m. on a Tuesday. Luckily, I do not have to work tomorrow, or really today, which is Wednesday. But I'm editing this video. And then I'm gonna take a shower, and I'm probably gonna play on Twitch for like 3 or 4 hours, because what is sleep? Who's ready for that? No one. Regardless of gender, they're not interested. I'm Pam. But they're not minding me. Ha! I don't know if that's a good joke or not. We'll find out. We'll find out. Anyways, the point is, I liked You People because I do think that it did focus on the reality that a lot of times in interracial relationships, the difficulty is not between these two people. It's all of the outside extenuating forces that ruin it for them. So I enjoyed that. And that is everything I have watched in the past probably 2 weeks, maybe 2 weeks. Yeah, I'm gonna say 2 weeks. And I'll be back with shows that I've watched, and we'll talk about those as well. So, you know, let me know, did you like any of these movies? How do you feel about these movies? I will be doing a video coming up soon that I've been working on forever, but like I just hadn't figured out how to do it until now, it just now hit me. Coming about the School of Good and Evil. And that is all. I'm also gonna be talking about Love is Blind at some point. Way late, because that's who I am as a person. All right, y'all, thank you for coming by. Enjoy that. Patrons, channel members. This is my super secret spot. Let people know if you want to. You don't have to, actually, don't. Yeah, don't tell them, because it'll be weird. All right, that's it, bye-bye.